your World of Tanks 1.9.1 will drop in a few days, and together with that it will be the Polish medium tank line that's going to drop. And today we're going to feature the CS-52 Tier 8 premium tank that will come together with it. When will it drop? I don't know, but it'll be soon. So let's talk about it. If you are here for the first time, consider subscribing and giving this video a like. This is the best way you can support my channel, and let me thank you in advance. Also, if you have an opinion, leave a comment in the description below, because Wargaming pays attention to your comments and to your suggestions and to your ideas. They want to know what you think. If you like it, say you like it. If you don't, say you don't like it. And they take your suggestions seriously, because I know for a fact that they do read the comments of all the videos out there that they can all the videos that they can watch. But this CS-52 has been compared with the T-54-100. So we are going to compare the stats of the T-44-100 with the upcoming CS-52 that is due to be released in just a couple of days. In fact, 1.9.1 downloads are already in progress. You can pre-download them if you want, but let's go straight to the stats and have a look at it. The speed and mobility is almost the same as the T-44-100. So can you expect mobility like the T-44-100? I don't think so, because I don't feel like the power to weight ratio is going to be the same as a T-44-100. If I'm not mistaken, the power to weight ratio on this tank is 16.95 horsepower per ton. Compare that with a T-44-100, it is 22.69 power to weight ratio. So I'm expecting the CS-52 not to have the kind of mobility that the T-44-100 will have. But there is something that is going to make this tank truly special, standing out from all the other premium tanks out there, and I will tell you towards the end of this video. But first, bear with me. Let's continue about this video, about the specs of this tank. 320 alpha damage. This is a lot more damage than a T-44-100. T-44-100 only has 250 damage. 320 damage is more like a Lansen C kind of spec tank. The reload time, this is of course I think going to be the final stats. They brought down the reload time from they started off with a 10 point something second reload time, but they brought it down to 9.2 seconds. So that's the new reload time, which means that's going to affect the DPM, and that's going to affect the rate of fire as well. So the rate of fire has increased to 6.52 compared to the 5.9 that it was recently in, and the average damage 2086, just about 100 more damage than you could possibly do in the previous iteration. But anyway, we are talking about 2.21 seconds of aim time. This is a lot better than the T1. Well, not better. I mean, the T-44-100 has better aim time, 1.92 seconds. But we are talking about a tank that has 320 alpha, so you're talking about Lansen C kind of performance gun. So let's bring up the Lansen C and compare that with the Lansen C. Okay, the Lansen C 320 alpha, but of course the reload time 8.82 seconds, slightly better than this CS-52. Of course, in terms of gun depression, Lansen C has 10 degrees gun depression. The gun depression on the CS-52 only 6 degrees gun depression. T-44-100 has 7 degrees gun depression and better mobility. So what can I say? The CS-52 looks like it's gonna have that kind of alpha, but you pay for it with a slower reload. The penetration is kind of good, because I think the penetration over 200, 208 penetration, and the premium shells are going to have 252 penetration. which I must say is a lot better than what you expect from premium tanks, because the Lansen C has 208 penetration on standard shells. T-44-100 only has 190 penetration, so we are talking about kind of like a Lansen C performing gun. Maybe the mobility is going to be performing something like the Lansen C. Lansen C, of course, 50 kilometers an hour going forwards and 20 kilometers an hour going backwards, almost exactly the same. But Lansen C, of course, has the power to weight ratio of 28.39, which is a lot better than the CS-52 power to weight ratio. So this is not exactly a mobile tank. Not like the Lansen C, not like the T-44-100, which is really good in mobility. But one thing that has not been mentioned is, I'll get to that in a minute. There is one great advantage that this tank has, but we continue with the specs a little bit first, okay? Shell velocity has been changed on this tank from 822 meters per second on the standard shells. They have increased it to 980 meters per second shell velocity on the standard shell. We are talking shell velocity that is more in line with kind of like better tanks, so with the Lansen C in respect anyway. T-44-100 only has 880 shell velocity, but we're not talking about APCR speeds here. 980 meters per second is not lousy, but it's not that fantastic either. It is bordering on APCR shell speeds. But what is special about this tank? Well, here it is. Look at the camouflage values. If this camouflage values is correct, what they are printing is correct for the final stats in the super test server, you are talking 27.6% camouflage values stationary, 20.7 on the move. Compare that with the Lansen C, 16.8 something, whatever, and the T-44-100 also something like 15, 16, 17% camouflage values. Now, my T-44-100 with everything kitted out is about 30% camouflage value stationary. Imagine this tank stock is 27. It is higher camouflage value than the UDES 03 highest camouflage value in tier 8 right now. Imagine this tank higher camouflage than a UDES 03. It is absolutely amazing. You are talking about stealth, vision, mobility in this tank alone. This tank has better camouflage value than the ELC Even 90. The only advantage is ELC Even 90 can retain its camouflage value on the move. Now this thing will lose the camouflage value when it's on the move, but when it's stationary, it's gonna have better camo than the ELC, the tiny little tank. Why? I think this is a shorter tank, shorter than the T-44-100, but I don't know if that is going to be the final values of this tank. 27% camo. Imagine after you've put on the training shit and all the food and BIA, you can get this tank up to 40% camo, 41, 42% camouflage value. That is absolutely insane. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you are almost half as excited as I am about this tank coming out soon. If you agree, disagree, leave a comment, because Wargaming definitely wants to know if you think this is a good idea. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.